We hope you enjoy this rebroadcast of Risk On's highest-rated topics for the previous week. Todd and Jason will return next week with their regularly scheduled programming. And now, Risk On.
Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's April 5th. This is the 44th episode of Risk On. I'm live in Costa Rica. Jason, you're live in Las Vegas, Nevada. You're king of baseball betting. Last night, we lost a heartbreaker with a 3-run home run. I happen to be an Angels fan, but I know we had money on the White Sox, dude. How you feeling?
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because the White Sox fought back twice, and they just couldn't get over the hump. They tied it up twice. La Russa, the Hall of Fame manager, made 2 pitching changes, both times to face the left-handed hitter Jared Walsh, and Walsh was challenged with a fastball both times, and he pooped all over those fastballs and took them over the fence for home runs, and that cost us the game.
Hey, big move on the Dow today. Obviously, people were happy with economic numbers on Friday. Jason, how was your Easter?
My Easter was great. I spent the entire day and night at Crypto Joe's. We had Easter dinner, and it was a great selection of beautiful food. We had ham. We had green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole. I mean, an array of desserts. We had these. What are they called? Ganesh? Dude, those things are dangerous. I could have ate probably 5 pounds of those. It was great.
Jason, is there any individual stocks you want to cover before we get into some of the other topics?
Well, I think the first one we should cover, because they finally took your advice, is GameStop, GME. So let's look at that, if you don't mind, Brett. Pull that up on the
That's $1 billion, man. $1 billion.
Nick, I'm sorry. You got that for us? Hey, thank you. All right, so GameStop, here we are, down about 2.35% today. I'm looking at the one-day chart. The news was kind of expected because they talked about it during the earnings report and the guidance, but it looks like Jefferies is coming out with doing the offering for GameStop. It's actually an at-the-market offering, up to 3.5 million shares and up to $1 billion. Is that what you saw, Todd?
Yeah, so they were pretty clear it was not going to exceed. They were pretty clear it was not going to exceed 3.5 million shares, but it could be up to $1 billion. So the way I read it is they won't sell more than 3.5 million shares in total when they raise that up to $1 billion for the ATM. Jefferies is the underwriter. This will be an at-the-market transaction, and 3.5 million shares is something they could do with theoretically in one day. So the market's probably going to yawn on that one and probably be pretty happy that they did it.
Yeah.
Listen, I have mixed emotions about this. I've used ATMs to raise a lot of money. I'm a big believer in them. They're the most efficient way of raising capital over time. They're not efficient fast, meaning you get it done quickly. Although you saw Tesla do $10 billion, 2 $5 billion deals of ATMs. The underwriting cost is very inexpensive, and you got to think the cost of capital is so low. Now, I know shareholders don't like them because they think the company's competing against the individual shareholders. However, when you don't have to issue warrants, when you don't have to issue a big discount, when you don't have to do a pipe, when you take it off the shelf, I really wish people would wake up about this. Shareholders understand that it is a big deal, and it is very, very helpful to be able to do an ATM. Frankly, I still think that GameStop blew it. They could have done an ATM for the last 3 months. Frankly, makes no sense to me, but who am I? It's not up to me. I was happy to see POWW, one of our biggest holdings, POW, that made a nice move today. What stocks do you want to cover right now, Jason?
Well, that was actually one I was next on my list, as a matter of fact. Nick, if you want to pull it up on the screen, it looks nice and green. Beautiful. Hey, so POW, full disclosure, Todd, you want to walk them through what we have here?
We have about 800,000 shares of POWW. We own it around $5.65 or so cents, give or take 10 or 15 cents in different accounts. For full disclosure, though, we are long the stock. We are, of course, not recommending it. We're telling you what we're doing. This is a show for entertainment purposes. It is your job to do your due diligence and make sure you have proper risk controls. Consult a financial advisor. Jason and I are not financial advisors. We are individuals who happen to work at a company where we manage money for them and for ourselves.
So
Jason?
Looking at the POW, the 1 month looks very choppy. I hope it's not like that on the seas when you go out there deep sea fishing, I think Wednesday. But as
Wednesday, we're going a little sail fishing. We're going to be looking for those black and blue marlin and maybe some tuna.
That's going to be fun for you guys. So looking at POW, the volume today was just over 2 million. The average 3-month volume is about double that, 4 million. What I'm seeing with POW is good communication from their investment relations regarding possible acquisition of gunbroker.com. That's a good thing for us and for any potential investors. What I'm also seeing is low volume, which means the investors that are currently in the stock, they're just not selling. You're not seeing a lot of activity there, but also it's not being shorted nearly as much as it was. So that's a good thing for investors. They're expecting that some possible news could break. Nothing's guaranteed, but they are working on a deal according to them with gunbroker.com. They did raise capital in order to make that acquisition. They will have to provide probably some shares to make the transaction work, but they did give a time frame, mid to late April. So we're still on track for this acquisition. It looks good.
You saw that there was already a report from RIOT, and obviously they beat expectations.
Yeah.
And I think people kind of felt like that was going to happen. So you see kind of it's consolidating here in the 50 to 60 range, not a lot of movement from there. We've kind of been already here. If you recall, it ran up, I believe it ran up to 80 in February, right? Was it February or March?
Yeah. Yep.
So I see these things as kind of flat to me. Some people, to me, they got a little bit ahead of themselves and now they're consolidating.
So this one kind of ties in with, there's some news today with the infrastructure bill. Joe Manchin came out and said, I would not be able to vote for this bill as it sits because of the corporate tax rate. He's, it was 21%. Biden's proposing 27 or 28%. I believe it's 28%. And Manchin would be more comfortable around the 25% area. So basically, the infrastructure tickers like, Nick, if you could pull the screen up, WLMS. This one is an infrastructure play. One of our partners turned us onto this. We were a little bit early, but it was up today 12%. But if you look, it's been very steady here. I want to take a look at one other one here based on the infrastructure.
Hey, Jason, to make sure everyone knows that we are long about 40,000 shares of that, and we are also long Boeing, about 1,300,000 worth of Boeing now.
Yes.
As we initially bought our position for $1 million at about $213. Now Boeing topping almost $260. We are long Boeing. We are long
WLMS. Yeah, WLMS.
Yes. Sorry about that.
No problem. U.S. Steel we do not own. That made a new all-time high over 26. It's retraced back to 24.63. It'll be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people could be taking profits on the infrastructure tickers because it's kind of a sell the news thing. They might not want to risk the infrastructure bill getting passed or getting changed dramatically in order to get it passed. So we'll just keep an eye on that and keep an eye on the political front. As far as it goes, the Senate is tied at 50 Republican, 50 Democrats. And with Manchin coming out against the infrastructure bill regarding the corporate tax rate, he also said that 6 or 7 Democrats felt the same way that he does. You remember, some of these Democrats, they might be in a more moderate area of the country. And so they're going to have to work with these Democrats in these purplish areas, not red, not blue. We call them purple, in order to make this thing work. It's obvious that we need roads, bridges, infrastructure, schools. We need all this stuff upgraded, but they're a little concerned with the tax rate stunting the growth of the economy. So that's where we're at with that.
What do you think the top 10 stocks Goldman Sachs is recommending for their domestic cyclical basket?
Is that an ETF?
No, it's just a basket they recommend that you buy for your portfolio.
Wow. Will they have Google in there?
No, let me give you the top 10. You ready? These are the cyclical 10s. Take a look at the list here. It's a pretty interesting list. Number 1 on the list with an 11.3% rating, Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the list with a 10.4% rating. Could you guess who it is, Jason?
No.
JP Morgan.
Ah.
Number 3 on the list with a 6.3% rating in the total portfolio, Bank of America. Number 4 on the list with a 3.6% weighting, Wells Fargo.
All
Getting
banks.
the theme here, Jason?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Yeah, number 5 on the list with a 3.4% rating, Citicorp.
Jeez.
Number 6 on the list with a 3.2% rating, Union Pacific.
Oh.
There we got some divergence to the rail stocks.
Yeah.
Number 6 on the list is either 6. Yeah, 6. Or is it 7? I think it's 7. Morgan Stanley, 2.8%. Number 8 on the list with a 2.7% rating, United Parcel Service, your old job,
nice.
Manager.
Good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Number 9 on the list with a 2.3% rating, BlackRock.
Oh, yeah, monster.
And number 10, and I haven't seen this on a list for a while, with 2.2%, Charles Schwab.
Wow, a lot of financials there. BlackRock's a monster. They're buying up properties on the Vegas Strip and leasing them back to MGM. It's like they bought Bellagio.
They effectively are saying to you, did BlackRock or Blackstone buy
I'm sorry.
Bellagio?
Yeah, it was Blackstone. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, Blackstone is the private equity firm. BlackRock is the asset manager. But listen, at one time they broke off from each other. So what does it matter, right? I believe that's the story.
That's right.
The housing market in Vegas is really heating up, obviously. I recently bought a house here, and I paid, let's say, I think I paid around close to $1.8 million. And someone told me as soon as the week after I bought it that those houses are trading for about $2.1 million, about $300,000 higher than what I paid. Of course, I'm not a seller, but and I don't know that to be absolutely true, but it appears to me that I know that Crypto Joe bought, and it is impossible to find houses that are lasting in his price range, which, by the way, is an incredible house. Crypto Joe bought an amazing house for the price he paid. I was really blown away by the house. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a large house, something in California that would probably cost him $1.5 million. And I believe he was paying in the $650,000 range, maybe a little less. I don't know for sure. And it is an amazing house with a pool and a yard and quite some square footage. And it's beautiful and it's relatively new. And there's a pretty aggressive market in Vegas, in Nevada area for those homes. And I know that it doesn't seem to be easing up in terms of availability for housing.
Yeah, and for the U.S. mortgage rates have increased for 7 straight weeks now. That's per, looks like Brown Harris Stevens, real estate CEO, is talking about it here on Fox Business. So it's not slowing anyone down, though. Historically, the mortgage rates are still super low. I would think that home builders new home construction have been doing real well. I'm going to do a little bit of research on some of these builders like KB and D.R. Horton, Toll Brothers. I think because the rates are so low, the only thing that's holding the home builders back from really good margins are costs of like lumber and stuff. I know the commodities costs have been up, but I still
lumber's doubled in price in the last year.
Yeah, which is probably the only thing holding back their really having great years, because they've built in a lot of value in these homes, but with the mortgage rates low, the home builders have increased the cost of the homes too, because let's face it, a lot of people that are buying homes are just payment shoppers. They don't look at the total cost of money. They don't look at the amortization schedules. They're just payment shoppers. What can you get me into this house for on a monthly basis? And it's the same thing with the auto industry. So I think this overall, generally speaking, the citizenry of the United States is just more concerned about their monthly budget and fitting into their monthly budget, whereas some of the upper echelon buyers, some of the people that might pay more cash or might be able to get smaller terms on financing, 10 or 15-year fixed, they're more concerned about, the total cost of money. So it's just something to consider. We got 18 minutes. Let's cover a couple of current events. A couple of things that happened recently with Amazon. They came out and illegally fired employees critical of work conditions. I didn't make that determination. The NLRB did, the National Labor Relations Board. And I just wanted to touch on this a little bit because the two employees were fired who they advocated for just better working conditions. The investigation was done by the NLRB. Mark Perrone, international president of the UFCW union, whose local unit helped file the charges, said, quote, "Today's a reminder that Amazon will break the law to silence its own workers who speak out," end quote. I find this interesting because Alabama is on the cusp of releasing their data regarding the union vote to unionize employees. And I think this is kind of interesting because of my background where I was managing at UPS, and I had to work with union employees often, shop stewards often, union representatives. So it looks like Amazon is being held accountable here for what the NLRB found as unnecessary terminations of employees. And the unions do, in fact, protect employees from this type of behavior. But there are other negatives with unions as well. It also protects weaker employees, people that are deemed soft or that are, have a lot of problems with attendance, doing work efficiently. So it's kind of a battle here between, non-union and union, right to work, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're a target if you're Amazon, and if you don't mind your P's and Q's, you're going to basically be unionized. The bigger the company gets, the more they're going to be a target. And you looked at this happened to Walmart. They fought against it pretty hard. Amazon has to be proactive or they're going to get unionized in certain states, especially if these stories persist about the way their workers are being treated. However, listen, for full disclosure, I have a relative that works for Amazon, and she's as happy as she's ever been working for a company like them. So, I'm going to stay out of that fight. Not a lot of commenting there, but I would say to you that listen, that Amazon's been good for a lot of people, made a lot of people a lot of money. I know the employees that I know there are pretty happy, and they've become very successful. But Jeff is a target.
Yeah,
he's the richest man. He's the richest man in the world. He controls and he dominates. Listen, when you put a lot of people out of business, you're going to make a lot of enemies. So any chance people got a chance to take a shot at him, they're going to. I mean, I'm all too familiar with haters.
Yeah. And
Jeff, you got a lot of lovers and you got a lot of haters. I happen to be a lover. I'm a big fan of yours, even though Jeff put me out of business when he turned off our business. I'm actually going to say the words because I think they're not allowed on YouTube. However, we sold a product on Amazon that they one day decided you couldn't sell anymore. You get shut down quickly. We had the privilege of getting a lot of orders from Amazon, and we had the privilege of being turned off too. Hey, it's the 5th of April. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I know this show's a little strange with me being in Costa Rica. We're just getting started with Risk on Sports. We're getting started with what we're doing and covering individual stocks. We appreciate your time and you tuning in. Skyla and Josh, hope everything's well with you guys back in the States. Nick and Brett, hope all's well. What do we got? How much time we got left here?
That's it.
Hey, we appreciate everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. You guys take care. We'll be updating you on the times of the show on Wednesday and Thursday. They may be a little later. We'll let you know tomorrow. Take care. Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's episode 45. This is Risk On. It's April 6th. I'm in Costa Rica, Los Sueños, Costa Rica, out here. This is actually not a fake background. It's a real background. I've been trading in the market for over 32 years, and I decided to take my family on a vacation.
But Jason, I want to do the show directly. Jason, how are you, buddy? It's April 6th. We're at the 45th episode. What do you think?
I think we're chugging right along here. It's great that we didn't have a break in the action. I'm glad that you were able to do this. It looks beautiful there.
Jason, what about some of the stocks we own now? I saw POWW was up, continues to be strong relative to the small caps, and we're probably waiting for that gunbroker.com deal. I know we talk about it every day on this show, guys, but we tell you what we're trading. Jason, your thoughts on what we're long right now?
Yeah, actually, I like the action on ammo today. Brett, if you want to pull up that ticker, we have it here. Nice solid day today. It's actually up a couple cents after hours, 665 to close, 667 after hours. One of the things I've been seeing is the low volume, which tells me investors are just staying put. 2.5 million in volume today, 4 million volume average 3-monthly average daily volume. If you look at the daily, I guess you're not really. You can kind of see it here on the Google Finance chart. I'm going to start looking at the Webull chart. Eventually, we're just for the folks, we're going to start looking at some different charts. But I'm looking at the Webull chart here on the daily, and we've got 2 nice daily candles here, and it looks like there's a nice trend line up. We're above the, as far as the moving averages, we've regained the 5, we've regained the 10. We're well above the 200-day moving average. Of course, this was an IPO not that long ago. But, yeah, it looks really healthy. I love the position that you built here. So we're just going to continue to wait for the news on gunbroker.com and the value that could be added to the stock. Northern Dynasty Minerals. Here it is. Everybody knows about this one, I think. This one is very politically motivated. We have this is probably the most political ticker that I've ever traded. Today it was up 5%. The reason we're bringing this up is, in my opinion, it has 10 to 20x upside. And it's all going to stem on the appeal process with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And the governor, Dunleavy of Alaska, is pushing hard. You can look at his social media. You can see what he's talking about, energy independence, mineral independence. This is a huge national security issue. Northern Dynasty Minerals, ticker NAK, could fulfill some of these rare earth mineral needs for the United States to maintain its sovereignty, its national security. They have a mineral, a rare earth mineral called rhenium. It's used in the high temperature areas of turbine engines. It's very necessary for our military. And we also have a massive, massive copper position in Pebble Mine up in Alaska. And with the electrification and the move to green vehicles from this administration, they're put in a tough spot. They want to appease their voters because they want to save the salmon, but they also want to build electric vehicles, and that requires copper. So this is where we're at. We're risk on this one. And I think you started a position today, right?
I did, but let me be very clear with the audience. This is a very risky stock, and Jason and I don't see eye to eye on the risk. But he is correct in the sense that they have an incredible mine in Alaska. It is very political, but we're calculating a risk-reward ratio here. And I know people make foolish mistakes, and they think, okay, I have $10,000 to invest, and Jason and Todd like it, so let's put it in there. Do not do that.
No.
We have a fraction of our money in there.
Yes.
We'll probably end up owning 500,000 shares, which is a lot of money to most people, and it is to me too. But in the big scale of how large the portfolio is, it is a very small fraction. And Jason is betting on a big move. So if you're going to buy any, consult your financial professional and make sure that you take minimal risk here, because this is a high risk, high reward situation. Jason, if they don't get anything and it doesn't work, where's it go?
If they don't get the appeal approval, then the next step will be the governor of Alaska. This is just my opinion, but I think there will be a lawsuit. I think the state wants, the state is demanding that they get compensated for the minerals, for the elements in the ground via the federal government. So there's going to be an ongoing legal battle, but it would just be easier if they approve the appeal. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers initially came out and said that there would be no further damage to the salmon and the tailings of the mine. They're not even using any like chemicals, arsenic, or anything like that. So Pebble Mine and Bristol Bay separate about 100 miles. The plan was initially approved by the Army Corps of Engineers. And then all of a sudden, when the draft was approved, and then the final plan came out, and they denied it. So I think it was mostly a political reason. We're going to see what happens. There's going to be an appeal process. We'll have a decision in the next 30 days, and then we'll go from there. But the thing is, we have a lot of people up in Alaska that need good-paying jobs, and currently the salmon industry is very seasonal. It often has people that come from out of the state to go there and harvest the salmon. The jobs aren't that well paying. So we're going to see what happens here. It's a very split decision, and we're taking risk on with this stock. Like Todd said, I wouldn't put more than 0.5%, 1% of your portfolio. This is just my opinion. Don't take my advice, anything like that. This is just our personal thoughts and what we do. They came out with news, though. They have a partnership for the looks like they have a partnership with Nifty Gateway, the Gemini-owned all-in-one platform that makes it easy to buy, sell, and store digital art and collectibles. Well, Gemini also has a cryptocurrency platform. They announced a partnership today to create a series of Playboy Nifty art digital art collaborations on Nifty Gateway's blockchain marketplace. That's pretty big.
Well, that is big, and maybe new leadership there is actually showing some leadership and trying to make things happen. But they were always a poor performer. Sometimes you gather amazing amounts of assets, and if you don't use them properly, the market doesn't reward you for them. And they were not rewarded for lots of years. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as an NFT play. That's definitely one that probably makes sense, especially a lot of historical interviews, a lot of historical pictures. Really was an eclectic magazine for its time.
Yeah, and also it's actually running after hours. It's got a reasonable float. It's being traded quite pretty good volume. Average volume 3-month average volume 700,000 shares today, 7 million, 10x on the volume. It's 31.50 after hours. It closed at 29.70.
Let's be clear, we don't have a position in the company.
No, we don't.
Own no stock in the company, etc. Right?
But like you said, they're working on their 3 focus areas are the Playboy's vast art and photography archive, an ongoing effort to incubate and commission new artists, and then it looks like they have the curation of and sales of Playboy's iconic art collection in NFT form. So it looks like they're going to execute on this plan. This looks very interesting.
RIOT sure ultimately was right short-term relative to what Hindenburg did. I think Hindenburg wrote about them about 70 points ago. Man, just kidding around.
Yeah, seriously.
50 points ago, whatever it was, right?
Absolutely. So, but you know what?
I don't know how the audience feels, but I'd love to hear the audience comment, and maybe we'll cover this someday. Should short sellers be able to put out a thesis, being short, publish it, and then obviously prospect and make money off of their research that they publish? It's like almost like a demolition company saying, I don't know, I got to think about like how you're a lawyer who sues people who gets in car accidents and then you drive around and run them over. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'd love to get everyone else's perspective about people writing research and knowing they're short the stock.
Yeah, like you said though, it's like they build. They definitely have a short initiated, in my opinion, and then once there's a good environment for where they can drop their thesis, they do so, and they take advantage of panic sellers and a softness in the market depending on the sector. Yeah, no doubt they're good at it.
Well, I think that they actually disclose their position when they write the piece, so they're short. But we'll have to look into that also.
Yeah, definitely have to look into that. Let's look at China's creating its own digital currency, a first for a major economy. Cyber yuan stands to give Beijing power to track spending in real time, plus money that isn't linked to the dollar-dominated global financial system. This is pretty interesting. It looks like this goes against everything that cryptocurrency was built on, as far as being separate, not trackable, as far as decentralized. This is deceiving. It's a cryptocurrency, but it's the CCP that's creating it, and they'll be able to track every single piece of coin and dollar throughout the country, throughout the world. So I don't know.
Let me track my Satoshi Satoshi. How do I say it? Satoshi
Nakamoto.
Nakamoto.
Yeah.
Let me track him. I'm going to channel him into my brain, and he says to me, "What is he saying about the new Chinese currency?" Hold on 1 second. I almost got it. Hold on. Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Dead on arrival. What Satoshi just told me was he said it's dead. That's not the purpose of a cryptocurrency.
No.
Ironically, with Bitcoin, you can see all the transactions that take place.
Yeah.
Wallet to wallet, and so you can actually track it pretty well. But the concept of a central government issuing a currency, I saw a great wrap up about this the other day that it was coming, and there'll be some excitement about it in the beginning because it's a government issued cryptocurrency. All I think you're going to do, China, is you're going to play into the hands of Bitcoin owners, and they're going to say more and more, see what they're doing? This is why we're on the right path. All you're doing is validating Bitcoin. If I were China, instead of creating my own cryptocurrency, I would have been buying Bitcoin, right? Make that your reserve coin and buy some of that, right?
Yeah.
Put that in your inventory and make sure you keep that as reserve. But I understand, they could print Chinese dollars, the yuan, and they could buy more Bitcoin. Instead, they want people to buy their cryptocurrency. Now, for ease of use and simplistic purposes, it may actually work. Maybe you're digitizing the yuan ultimately, but we're going to cover this story. This isn't the first time, and China's not going to issue a digital currency without there being a response from other governments. The U.S. is not going to sit around as crypto gets big. But right now we're talking about $1 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, and until it gets a little larger, they don't have to take any action. But ultimately, this is kind of against the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, let's be clear. This is not decentralized. This right here, the cryptocurrency from the Chinese government, this is basically a way to keep it looks like China's version of digital currency controlled by its central bank, which will issue the new electronic money. This is just a way to track their dollars digitally, basically.
Right.
The person formerly known as Bruce Jenner is thinking about running for California governor. Caitlyn Jenner is launching a committee to explore a possible run for the governor of California. What do you think about that?
Oh, wow. Well, you caught me stumped there.
Yeah. She would be running. She would be running as a Republican.
Let me see if I can transition to that. I have to think about that.
That's smooth transition.
I actually could get my transitional support.
I think I could definitely get behind that. Wait, hold on a minute here. Hold on.
Careful.
Anyway.
Careful, dude.
So
careful.
So anyway,
wait,
yeah.
I got our producer. Oh, Roland likes the beard. I said I got our producer. I thought he was about to tell me to get off the subject for a second.
It's just a political statement. That's all. She wants to run for governor. She's a citizen. Let her run.
Hey, for those of you out there all over the world on EIB, 1150, the people who watch us on the Patriot Network, on iHeartRadio, on YouTube, soon to be Instagram also. We appreciate your time. It's April 6th is the 45th episode. I'm Todd Ault signing off from Costa Rica. We appreciate your time. Love you guys. Jason, take care. Everybody back at the studio. Be well. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's April 6th. I'm in Costa Rica. Just spent a day fishing. Actually watched my son and daughter. My daughter caught this giant sailfish. My son caught a sailfish and 2 tuna fish. Is that not a bloody sport, catching tuna fish or what? It's April 7th. It's the 46th episode of Risk On. And there's always risk. We were on a boat today.
out about 30 miles off the coast of Costa Rica, not available. And POWW went to 777 or 773. Regardless, that's about, those of you who watch the show know we have about 800,000 shares. That's about a $400,000 difference by the time I got back. But still a big winner, Jason. How are you doing in Vegas?
Doing great. I was doing my best. In fact, I was trying to send text, SOS, signal, anything I could to get a hold of you. I was just when it went above 750, I was texting back and forth with Skyla. I got Roland's number. I said, "Wow, look at this thing going nuts. The volume's coming in." I said, "Could it possibly be that some news was leaked?" But it wasn't the case. It was just a strong buying day for POW.
Wow, no leaked news, huh?
Nothing that I see at all. No.
Got it.
I mean, we could find out something different tomorrow, but
yeah, maybe that gunbroker.com news is coming.
Anyway, it looked really good.
So what do you think of the sell-off, continual sell-off? Is your argument with GameStop that it's holding up or that it closed near the low of the day? Which one is it?
You know, I didn't even look at GameStop today. Let's take a look at it, actually. Let me pull that up. I didn't even take
For full disclosure, of course, we've been talking about on the show, we are short the options. We wrote some uncovered calls and got some premium for those GameStoppers.
Here we go. We got the
one. We have the we have the 215 calls that expire on the 16th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, my take on this is the ATM is fully running. The dollars are being harvested by the executives at GameStop, and we could figure this out. Obviously, I could figure out when the ATM is going to end. I mean, it should end in. Let's see, what was the volume?
Assuming they're selling. You know, if you looked at it,
yeah, they're selling.
They've limited themselves to 3.5 million shares. And that would not get them, based on the ATM, it would not get them to $1 billion that they wanted to raise.
Yeah, that's the key verbiage, up to. I mean, we'll see what happens. 4.76 million volume today, similar to yesterday. Yeah, so doing the math. Well, look, we can figure out what they raised. If they're raising capital, it's not that hard. I wanted to talk a little bit about Uber, UBER. In fact, they are doing their own little stimulus plan to try, as some people know, they might not know. Uber and Lyft have been having trouble getting drivers to go on the road because of the unemployment from the federal government and the state government. A lot of times that the unemployment exceeds what they make, so they're just staying home. So it looks like the CEO announced a $250 million driver stimulus package amid the post-COVID driver shortage. The $250 million.
What are they going to do?
It looks like they're going to use it for sign-on bonuses. They gave several examples where they would receive bonuses in some of these key markets like Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Miami, a lot of these markets where they're short drivers. They're going to be giving them bonuses based on number of trips, initial sign-on bonuses, and I guess it's going to just be like an overall stimulus for the existing drivers to encourage them to work more hours, because a lot of the drivers, they're either not driving at all or they're just driving under the hours where they can still get their unemployment and not exceed the earnings that will disallow them from getting the unemployment.
Got it.
Thought that was pretty interesting. Uber, just to give you an idea, year to date, it's up 11.24%, 56.89. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Wanted to bring that to your attention, the folks watching, their attention. Uber's doing
pretty well though.
Yeah, overall.
The stock has been relatively performing in what was, obviously a post-COVID environment, pretty tough market for them.
I mean, all-time Uber's up 37%. When did it go public? Like maybe 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I don't remember the IPO. It wasn't 2 or 3 years ago, but I don't remember the the IPO price, but it's been doing relatively well.
I had RIOT lined up here. It looks like RIOT is getting ready to make a $138 million acquisition in mining hardware, with shipments are all scheduled all the way through October 2022. Now, I wonder why anybody else can't get miners. There's 42,000 units from Bitmain, the S19Js. They are 100 terahash, 90 terahash. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, that name has pulled back pretty hard. It's in 49.10 today, and I've been noticing Bitcoin soft. But do you think it's just kind of coiling up and consolidating?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add about Bitcoin and Riot at all?
Yeah, I've noticed that it's a lot of the Bitcoin tickers were actually off today because Bitcoin went to 56. CleanSpark went down into the low 20s. Riot actually high 40s. Hey, so the infrastructure bill, Biden said he's willing to negotiate on the corporate tax rate as far as the increase. The 28% proposal met a lot of, it looks like Manchin and Kristen Sinema and some of the other moderate Democrats kind of were concerned about the 28% proposed corporate tax rate, thought it was too high. And so Biden said he was open to negotiation on that, which is interesting. There's also some things going on with a lot of people wanting to put pork into the bill. I noticed some stuff on Twitter. You can look for yourselves, where people were trying to tie things to the bill that had nothing to do with infrastructure. And I noticed some rebuttals from like Senator Ted Cruz and a couple of people from the other side that were just kind of making fun of what they were asking, which was pretty crazy. They wanted to tie like all kinds of social health programs, like daycare, child care, like all this stuff into infrastructure. So I don't know. It was kind of a battle back and forth on Twitter. Once in a while I get on Twitter. I think it's a cesspool, but sometimes I see some stuff on there. That's just my personal opinion. I don't have a Twitter account. I don't really have any social media accounts. So anyway, that's what's going on with infrastructure. It looks like if they want the deal done, they're going to have to actually negotiate, at least within the Democratic Party, because they can do a 51 majority vote on infrastructure because Chuck Schumer was able to get the parliamentary exception so they can do reconciliation. So they were not going to require the 60 vote that was status quo, but they still have Democrats that they have to sell the program on. So that's where we're at with infrastructure.
Listen, it was fun doing this from Costa Rica. I'm not as excited about it as I thought I would be. I thought it would be easier. It's not easier. These foreign countries do not have the same internet access and capabilities. Some of them probably do. I actually had a great time here in Los Sueños. I recommend it to everyone. I recommend for sure deep sea fishing. That was amazing watching my daughter Asia catch the biggest sailfish. And you guys take care. Enzo caught the giant tuna. We're going to have tuna tonight for dinner.
Nice.
Everyone take care. For Risk On, for Jason and the team. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much. 2 o'clock tomorrow.
My name is Todd Ault. This is Risk On. I'm in Orange County, California for the last time doing my broadcast. Tomorrow, I will not only be a full-time resident of Nevada, but I've already been there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, since the beginning of the year. But starting tomorrow, I'll be in Nevada full-time as my house in Orange County is sold. And Jason and I will be together trading, doing the show, Risk On Gaming. It is full speed ahead, my friend Jason Bartholomew back in Vegas. Dude, we're up on POW big time, $1.6 million made so far. And for all you home gamers, full disclosure, we've owned POWW since $5.40, added some at $5.65, $5.85, a little more at $6, and it hit $7.50 today. Yesterday it hit intraday $7.70. For full disclosure, I sold about 35,000 shares of our 800,000 plus shares.
And we're probably about 772 average, if I had to guess.
Oh, you mean in terms of price?
Yeah.
No, 572.
I'm sorry, 572. Pardon me. So yeah, we're actually looking at it in the aftermarket. It's 750 close, 751. Hey, let me get into the market stuff here.
And Roth Capital upgraded it today with a $9 target. And just for the record, Roth Capital, I think you're weak.
Yeah.
$9. What kind of target is that?
We're not going anywhere.
I was looking for something bigger than that, my friend. What'd you say?
We're not going anywhere. We're there regarding POW. We're not.
Oh, yeah. But I was looking for more than $9 target. $9. Can you hear me okay, Jason?
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Well, because I was looking for more than $9 for POW's target, but whatever. Maybe they need to leave some oil in the gas tank or something.
Maybe they just didn't do their due diligence on gunbroker.com. Maybe they don't even really know about that deal. I don't know.
They're the underwriter, dude. They raised 120 million or 15 million or whatever they raised.
Yeah, that's right. Roth did that. That's right.
Anyways,
my apologies.
Hey, I wanted to report something exciting about stocks and how we trade. And one of the things we do is when we try to trade, we try to find positions that make sense. And we've been looking at this MDRR. For full disclosure, we did put on a position today.
I've got it.
We participated in the secondary. This is an opportunity, in our opinion, to buy a stock that's been beaten up because of COVID and commercial property. Jason, you want to talk about how it looks to you?
After hours, it looks pretty bloody. Closed down 7% after hours, $1.58, down 9% after hours.
What happened there?
Let's take a look at the volume. Sometimes the after hours can be deceiving. Let's take a look and see if we have any activity after hours here. MDRR. Yeah, there's not much volume. It should have closed. Actually, after hours, you can make a case to it should be around $1.67. You know what's interesting is this company is Virginia-based. They've got properties in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. What's interesting is the dividend on this REIT. You want to talk about that? The last dividend was 50 cents last quarter. That's humongous for this cap. It looks like they're focusing on acquiring, renovating, leasing, and managing commercial properties. They have a 52-week range of $1.03 to $6.13. They have as far as from a trader's standpoint, it is it's kind of a low volume stock, but the float is only 5.6 million before the proposed offering here. Shares out.
Let me read you some news right now.
Yeah.
Medalist Diversified REIT announces the pricing of $12 million public offering of stock. The company, a Virginia-based real estate investment trust, specializing in acquiring and owning and managing value-added commercial real estate in the southeast region of the U.S. today announced the pricing of 8 million shares of common stock at $1.50 for a total of approximately $12 million of gross proceeds. Gross proceeds. Shares of the company traded on the NASDAQ under the symbol MDRR. The offering is expected to close April 13th, subject to customary closing conditions, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Anyways, I know why it was down.
Yeah, I do too.
Intraday, Biden started talking about guns. And POWW, which is at 757, went down to around 729, gave back a little percentage point. They actually probably gave back a couple percent. I wondered your thoughts about what Biden said about guns and what he was doing. What I read was that his response was a little weak.
Yeah, it was a nothing burger, really. There was nothing there. I'm not worried about that at all. In fact, when he was talking, it's similar when, the Fed talks or when earnings reports happen. There'll be some small ladders, a small short attack, it looked like. Not many panic sellers. I mean, the thing moved 3% down. I mean, let's think about that. It went from...
Yeah, but I want to cover that because, Jason, what I'm trying to say here is let's talk about relative strength. You got the president of the United States kind of out there bashing guns, right? Or saying he was going to get tough on them. Executive orders for ghost guns and stuff like that, which, by the way, I totally understand his perspective. You got to license these guns. I get what they're trying to do here. But when the stock holds up to the president talking about him and then comes back to close near the highs of the day,
you got to think that adds a lot of relative strength. And I wanted to talk to the audience about when you see news that's negative and your stock still powers through, closing near the high of the day.
Yeah.
Could you walk people through that relative strength indicator and what you see from that?
What I saw with the stock, I was pretty much glued to that stock when he was speaking. The longs with POW aren't going anywhere. The volume was 4 million today, okay? Yesterday it was 9 million. Nobody is selling on the long side. It was up 4% today, a little bit after hours. The intraday, I think the low was it held $7 today, which was very impressive. I mean, that's the new floor now, $7. It's a strong stock. They got 200 million backlog. They've got federal contracts. They've got a new facility coming that they've raised capital to build in Wisconsin. They've got a potential acquisition in gunbroker.com. I just think shorts are just picking a different target. Like, guns usually win on both sides. If they talk about banning guns, they go up. If they talk about more flexibility with a Republican in office, that's a safe way to invest. I don't know. It's a good sector.
So I wanted to talk more about what relative strength means. And so for a lot of my listeners, they ask these questions. I'm talking about, I see you saw that in POW, but like when you think of the overall market and you think about stocks that have high relative strength, what that means to me and to most people is to understand, explain this, is that let's say there's some bad news and the market's down. It's down pretty hard. Let's say it's down 3% on the day, the whole overall market. And then you see some names you like an Amazon, and it has high relative strength. That means those stocks generally recover quicker than other stocks that were already weak and have weak relative strength. We're seeing that in POWW. It's building relative strength, meaning no matter how much it's getting bashed, meaning the industry is getting bashed, it continues to move up and to the right, and that's a good sign. And that's why I think this gunbroker.com will take this thing higher, and that's why we're along the stock. I like to trade stocks that have high relative strength. When the market gets hit, you go look for those things that have real strength, real conviction. People want them, and that's the first place people go buy when the market's weak and they have an opportunity to buy on cheaper prices. So for me, the political side of this is that you kind of got an anti-gun president now talking about banning certain things that are, signing executive orders, et cetera. That's an overhang on the market for stocks that are in the defense space like this, or the self-defense space. But it's positive in the sense that they're still doing well in the face of that, Jason.
Yeah, from a technical standpoint, it was the daily RSI, relative strength index, was like 62. It was never oversold today. The RSI was never less than 40. It was very balanced today. It was never overbought. I mean, it did get a little hot, a little ahead of itself, but I think it really stayed between like 45 and 70 today on the RSI on the 5-minute, which I like to use the 5-minute chart when I'm scalping and day trading. Not so much when I am swing trading. I like to go out to the 30-minute chart and get a broader snapshot. But yeah, it was very balanced today. The high wasn't too high, the low wasn't too low. It performed well today under pressure.
Let me cover my daily rant. So I flew to Costa Rica, and when I got there, I discovered, not anyone's fault but my own, that in order to get back in the United States, I required a negative COVID test. I also had to buy COVID insurance in Costa Rica in the event that I discovered they had COVID there, that would cover my hotel stay for 10 days where I would have to be quarantined.
No way.
I wouldn't be allowed to, yeah. And that cost me $480 for my family of 5.
Dude.
And then
wow,
I had to pay for PCR tests. And those PCR tests were $160 a piece for the technician to come to my hotel room and test my 5 family members.
That is insanity.
Now, luckily I can say to you, what do you say?
I wanted to know specifically, did they give you the nasal test?
Oh, they shoved it right up my nose, all the way up there. And they walked it around, went to the other side and walked it around. And it was $160 to find out that I was negative. I've already been vaccinated.
I get my second vaccine April 16th. But I was just thinking about the traveler that went down there with a family of 5, an extra $1,000 almost to go to Costa Rica because of COVID.
That's just, those COVID, we talked about this. I don't like those nasal COVID tests because I've seen where people that aren't properly trained have punctured the nasal cavity and like had brain fluid leak out. This is not, you can look this stuff up. This is scary stuff to me.
We need to find out if that's factual, but okay, I got your point. I mean, maybe you could, I don't know.
Don't have a lot of time. We appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow at the normal time, 1:05 for Jason and the team. This is Risk On. We hope you're getting your risk on, making some money. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys take care, and go Houston and go Twins. Let's see what happens with Risk On Sports. Jason, take care, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Todd Ault. I'm back in Nevada. Happy to be here. It's April 9th. This is the 48th show. I mean, the show's numbers are quickly catching up to my age. I'm 51. Would you have thought when we started? Hold on one second. It's the 48th show, by the way. Would you have thought that we would have? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be like Todd wants to do a show? Because when I asked you to do it, you said, "Oh, okay, I'll do it." Right? But did you think it would be actually 48 shows? Be honest.
I didn't think it would be every day, and I didn't think we'd go this far.
Oh, we're just getting started, dude. I mean, this is just getting started.
Look,
man.
we got gear now. Risk On gear. Look at this.
Hey, dude, look at this.
We got Risk On hats.
Now, see, my head's so big, the hat. I got to open the hat up a little bit.
Yeah.
But those of you who thought you're getting merch, you're getting it soon.
This is really awesome.
The king is dead, by the way.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
king died. Now, by the way, he's not the king. He's the Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
But he was 99 years old.
He lived a long life.
I know, he got to sleep with the queen.
You know, someone who lived half of his life died today, too.
DMX, right?
Yeah, DMX, the hip-hop artist, 50 years old, passed away. I guess he had some issues with substance abuse, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know that anything I would say after the word substance abuse would be taken well. We're in a politically correct world, but
yeah,
I understand that he thank you. He passed away. He was in a coma for a while.
Yeah, for about 10 days, I guess. Maybe a little less.
How old was he again?
50.
Oh, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
That's scary. Okay, let me get excited here. Hold on, Jason. What a day yesterday for Jason. 6-0 on the parlays. Holy smokes, Jason. That was a monster day for you.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
We got a little...
I don't know where you... I mean, you got some juice yesterday. So funny. I noticed I can tell on days when we're going to win. You had massive mojo. Like, I placed these bets. These are what we're going to do. And you were all confident, and you just killed it. You killed it.
You know, sometimes when you see a stock or you see...
And you know you're going to make money?
Yeah, like you say, hey, that's not right. There's something wrong in the marketplace. There's an inefficient price in the stock, an inefficient price in the baseball line.
When we saw they priced POW at $5,
yeah,
we loaded up.
We
moved
our chips.
We got all over it. Right.
Not
we moved our
all
chips
in, but we moved our chips in.
We bought 800,000 shares.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We went in there 4.5 million-ish,
sure,
give or take.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the gun broker.
But you crushed it yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, you crushed it on baseball. This guy, and it's all eclectic too. You're like paying attention to like little. I can get a money line that's a little better.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I talk to people that do like the most complicated stuff, like they're brain surgeons or doctors that I know.
Yeah. And
they're like, Todd, how do you pick that stock? I'm like, dude, how do you cut someone's head open?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. I don't know. How do you bet on baseball? It seems like you know what you're doing.
It's just
dude, in 8 days, I think you tripled your money. You get ready and give them the new name for California. Ready?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go.
Taxifornia.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so last night, I flew in from Costa Rica,
Correct.
LAX, drove down to Orange County, did the final touches on my house I sold there, got into a car, drove last night, dropped off some stuff at the new house. We weren't ready to move in.
Right.
The movers are there today with my wife. Everything's being moved in. I no longer live in California at all, not even on the weekends. I was here 5 days a week. Now my whole entire family has moved to Nevada, and I'm here in the. Is it still Republican here?
It really is purple. It's not blue.
Purple state.
Yeah, like most of the people that leave Taxifornia, they leave for a reason. Most of the time, they leave because of high taxes.
That's not why I left. That's one of the reasons.
Well, bad policies and
Sure.
less freedom. That's
right.
You're restricted.
Dream of what's it? Taxifornia.
Yeah.
Dream of Taxifornia.
Yeah, exactly. From Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Exactly.
I mean, Elon Musk left.
Come on, man. Let's get this. Taxifornia. That's gonna. That's gonna be on the
We need
thumbnail.
that the hashtag, man.
Yeah,
That needs to
hashtag
trend.
Taxifornia. And I don't live there anymore. I moved
Yeah.
along with Graham Stephan. He moved away.
Yeah. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. He moved to Texas.
Yeah. We're going to these freedom states. Nevada, I hope that the people that come to Nevada don't bring that same ideology and same Taxifornia policies that ruin California. In my opinion, ruin California. That's my opinion.
I don't think California is ruined. I just think they need to figure out how to deal with the homeless population. Since we're on the political statement part right now, Taxifornia.
Let me tell you this.
I'm never going to forget this. It's Taxifornia. I bet we start a whole thing, Taxifornia.
Risk on is Taxifornia.
No. I mean, literally, I'm like merch Taxifornia. Merch.
Oh yeah, we could. Maybe we should.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, can we bring on Joe real quick? No, you got to wear that.
Yeah. What are you doing?
No, put that back on.
America.
Oh, this is great. This is wonderful, man. This is so great. You're able to do this. Oh yeah.
Hey, Taxifornia was once your home state too.
Taxifornia was my home state.
Everybody.
Joe is nervous. Are you nervous, buddy?
Joe's a little nervous.
Working.
You're
Joe, can you give
nervous.
us a little breakdown of the current hash rate for Ethereum? With,
No. We're not doing that right now.
Oh, you wanna
We're
take him on-
He's going to be on the. He's going to be co-hosting the show. Not co-hosting the show. He's going to be a guest on the show.
on Risk On? I know.
Risk On Sports.
Yeah, I know. But do you want to put him on the spot right now?
Yeah, I do. I want
Okay,
to
fine.
put him on the spot, and I want to know. Like, what's your favorite sports? Why are you on the show? What do you do? What do you like about sports?
What's my favorite?
Okay, look at that. It's Crypto Joe, everybody, and I want to tell everybody he has a
Give him a
good
round.
following because of crypto, right?
Yeah, give him a round of applause.
So I do that.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Yes.
It's Crypto Joe.
So I guess what's
Dude,
my favorite
okay, come on,
sports?
this is
Soccer.
Nevada.
Come on.
Come on, you can take that down now.
Take that
Look at
face
Crypto
diaper
Joe.
off, dude,
No,
even though it's the
no,
American
dude.
flag.
Come on, I liked it, though.
Is
The
my
face
hair good?
diaper?
You look great. You look great.
So,
Joe, you're going to be joining us on Monday for the 20-minute sports show. You moved to Nevada. You moved your whole family. How long have you lived in California?
About as long as you, other than my short stint.
Aren't you 40?
You keep saying this.
How old are you?
I'll be 49 in a month.
what the hell?
It seems like I'm way older than you.
Yeah, it feels like it.
It does. I probably look older than you, too.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So you moved why did you move your whole family from California?
Well, man, I've been with you for what? Almost 14 years now, and so you said
Someone's
jump,
worked
and
with
I
me
s-
for 14
Yeah,
years.
You said jump, I sort of said how high.
You need to.
Dude, how do you not look 70?
Yeah,
I mean, working for me?
Yeah.
lots
what kind of
lots of
attitude is
naps. Lots of naps, bro.
What kind of attitude is that?
Dude, this is a high pressure situation. Let's
I
be
create high
honest.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you thrive well in this environment,
You're now the chief information officer. But how did you get the name Crypto Joe? Do you remember that?
I do. There's actually some stuff on your Twitter about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, one day I'm doing nothing, and the next day is, oh yeah, we've got 1,500 miners going to Indiana, and by the way, you're going to set them up. Have a nice week.
Yeah, but you ended up doing a lot more than 1,500.
Oh,
didn't you?
yeah, it was crazy.
Thousands. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how many it was. Wasn't it maybe under? Was it under 3,000?
Yeah, it was under 3,000.
Over 2,000 or
Over
something.
2.
I can't remember the exact number. I live in Las Vegas. I moved there for a reason. Taxifornia.
Taxifornia is no longer.
Joe joined us. The company moved its headquarters here. This is Risk On. Brett, Nick, Willie, Josh, my man producer. Skyler, who's off today helping move. Crypto Joey joined us today. Jason Bartholomew, we love you. Thank you so much. See you Monday.